Hello, everybody. Welcome to the King Leo Show. I'm your host, King Leo. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's make sure that our audio is good. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? We got a lot to get through today. Audio's perfect. We live in a twilight world. You know the response. If you don't refresh your memory, we gotta greet our Bajalardians with a Bajalardian greeting. How is everybody doing today? I had a crazy weekend, man. I was out picking fruit and fixing cars all weekend, man. Laborando siempre, laborando. It's like just working, man. Working through the weekend as a Hispanic man must. No, absolutely. I was out having fun, as I advised you guys to go do. All right, I was doing that. Let me get myself here censored for the beginning of the show. All right, let's take a cue here. All right, how is everyone doing? That's so weird, huh? I'm never in the censor. How is everyone doing? Welcome to the King Leo Show. How you doing, Bajalardians? How you doing, humble fruit pickers and car mechanics like myself? Hispanics kind of on time today. 10:04. Hey, man, in dog years, you know there's dog years, right? Well, there's spick time, all right? I could be here at 10:15, all right? But I'm here at 10:04. So that's pretty good. I'm fighting my blood. I'm fighting everything in me to get here on time. So you're welcome, all right? I'm trying my best. We have a lot to get through today, including our top story, man, which is Nick Fuentes on Tucker Carlson. I think we manifested this, man, because we talked about him to close out our week last week. I really think we manifested this, which is interesting. We're going to see what exactly that means. I think it was a weird interview overall. We have a lot to get through, though. So let's start with our usual, all right? Let me just pick which one's the best one. I think we go with the greatest, our future president, all right? We got to start with, let's start with Michael Knowles, all right? We're here for Schizo Watch. What is going on, man? That's our Schizo Watch, man. I updated OBS, so maybe we'll have some quirks, all right? Let's get to Schizo Watch. We have a lot to get through, man. It's been a painful weekend for a lot of people, all right? Let's see what Michael Knowles has been up to. He was taking a page out of the Bajalardian playbook, having a good time. Let's watch him. Zesty. My man was having a good weekend. Let's watch that one more time. See if we pick up any moves that we can use ourselves. How does this guy go on the whatever podcast, man? What a crate. I'm not going to imply anything about Michael Knowles. Please leave him alone, all right? We got to get to my favorite politician, dude, and your favorite too. As any good Bajalardian, how you doing, Audio Vibes? You're back. What's up? How you doing? We got to get to Gavin Newsom, the greatest future president, who I found out over the weekend, he struggled, man. I thought he was a Getty guy. No, he was in the ghetto. He wasn't a Getty. He was in the ghetto. Let's see how he grew up. Let's see how he explained it to us on this podcast. I love this man, dude.
It's like the White Stack 5 story.
Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, man, bro. Are you talking about me?
Yo, YG.
YG,
but
man.
Every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arms fall
yourself.
off. That's it, whole thing. So just, and then, then this student that was shitty student is in the back with his head down, all of a sudden started throwing the baseball a little faster than everyone else. And started, make a few free throws because I was sitting there practicing 500 of them every damn night. And in high school, I look up in the stands, my dad's back up there.
Okay, dope.
And it's like, man. And then he's bringing his friends, and you're captain of the team, and you're like, geez, and it just saved me, and it got me into college.
It's like the White
peanut
Stack
butter
Five
and
story.
Straight out of Marin County, Getty. No, we're from the ghetto. Did you hear that? I mean, come on, dude. How could you not vote for Gavin Newsom? Ballin saved his life. I love this man, dude. This guy is so shameless. We deserve our Patrick Bateman president. Just saying. Dude. He owned a wine shop at 18, but he was still struggling. And any good Bajalardian would appreciate that. Everyone would have. How you doing, YC? Hustling. Reminds me of that very famous, I'm going to play that one of these days, Arkansas COVID-19 PSA. The best one. Yes, I'm a hustler. I'm an entrepreneur. I sell things. That was Gavin Newsom. Out of the ghetto, not out of the Getty family. I'm so the best, man. And we have another clip of him where they're trying to make fun of him, man. This is a few years ago. How you doing, Jonathan Glaze? We glaze on this channel. We glaze Gavin Newsom, man. We deserve American Psycho president. Absolutely. I love this man, dude. Here he is dodging the question, as some haters would say. I would say being a good, a high verbal IQ individual. Let's see what he had to say here when they asked him some stupid question.
Governor, why is it okay for you to take money from a felon?
And you know that the way you frame that is going to lead me to ask you to flesh
Your
that
office
out.
is aware of my question. I've tried to schedule time to talk with you about this.
I don't know what you're
PG&E was convicted of 6 federal felonies in 2016. After that, you took more than $200,000 to help get elected. How should people trust you to be running the show to come up with the solutions?
I wish you luck with whatever you're working on, but that's a strange question.
This is the perfect response whenever you get some bullshit, all right? I wish you well. That's a weird question. All right, dude, you can't tell me we don't deserve this man, dude. This is literally Patrick Bateman at the bar. Well, we need to end apartheid, and we need to ensure civil rights and feminism for equal opportunity. Dude, he's the greatest. He's the greatest. Who is better at this, man? Who is better?
Well, I know it's a strange question. It's a strange time, but there's a convicted federal felon making campaign donations in this state to our duly elected leaders, including the speaker, who took almost $9,000.
Yeah, look, we're trying to focus on the
It's a serious question. You don't think people want an answer to that?
We are focusing very, very collaboratively on addressing the issue of not only one IOU that went bankrupt, but the prospects of 2 IOUs going bankrupt. The prospect that 2 in Southern California will have a downgrade in their bond rating.
Well aware of the issue. Is it okay for you to take the money from them with the felony conviction? They're still serving their sentence, for crying out loud.
We have additional questions.
This pocket watching, bro. Open secrets ruined politics. Stop pocket watching, dude. Let Gavin... Everybody's got to eat. And as YC says, we eat in Wonder Bread. He's got to get that Wonder Bread, dude. Ball saved his life. What a stupid question.
How about a policy question about the wild card?
You're not going to answer. You're not going to answer the question.
I don't know what more I can say that will.
You can say whether you agree it was okay to take money from a felon and will you give it back.
We have additional questions.
I
know you have additional questions. All right.
Policy questions about the wild card bill. But just 2 quick questions about the wild card bill, sir.
Governor, you seriously won't consider giving PG&E its money back?
Give money back? What economy are they living in, bro? This is 2019, all right? Never give the money back, man. Never do it. Never. And Gavin knows how. I don't need to tell Gavin what to do, dude. Gavin knows how to play this game.
That's a serious question. And Newsom got $208,000.
Oh, my God. What a beautiful response. What a strange question. This is who we deserve, man. I love this guy, dude. I really love him. Let's continue with Schizo Watch. We got Michael Rappaport going insane because of the Zoran election. Let's see what he had to say.
You're not a fucking leader. You're a bozo, a bullshit artist bozo with a microphone. Where's the proof? Where's the facts of anything happening to your aunt? Where's the proof? Where's the facts of any Islamophobia being put on you or your wife?
Just starting off, any good Bajalardian. Where are the facts? Where is the reality? The reality is what I say it is. That's what it is, dude. Look at him clinging to reality. As President Obama said, clinging to their guns and really trying to hang on to reality. What Zoran says is what goes, all right?
Or your aunt. We know your father ain't scared. We know that Zoran the moron's father ain't scared. He ain't scared in New York. He ain't scared in America. Zoran the moron's father is a nasty jihadist supporting nasty anti-Jewish,
Did you catch that? Did you catch? This is called in hypnosis. I'm almost a certified hypnotist, fellas, all right? I recommend you do it too. Mike Mandel Hypnosis, not sponsored by them, $50 a month. Get your hypnosis certificate. It will do you better than a college degree. Look at this. This is called an embedded command.
supporting nasty America. Zoran the moron's father is a nasty jihadist.
That pause, nasty. You're already preempting for the next thing to be nasty. Jihadist. And then supporting. Because you had to hear the first word, not the second one. Genius, genius, genius. I mean, this guy's lost his damn mind, dude. He's lost his mind. And actually, I take it back. It's not genius. It's idiotic. This is the dumbest shit I've seen in my life, dude. I can't wait to see him the day that Zoran wins the election, dude. It's going to be so funny.
Supporting nasty, anti-Jewish, anti-Semite. Your dad ain't scared to walk around New York City. Your dad's saying crazy shit with camera on wax. Because we know your dad ain't scared of shit. Because he says the wildest, most disrespectful, insane, anti-Zionist, anti-American shit with his face on wax. So what the fuck really happened to your aunt, you bullshit artist? I don't believe you. We do not believe you're weaponizing Islamophobia to get fucking votes. It's disgusting. And you're stroking paranoia. You're stroking and building a fire of paranoia and fear in New York City to get votes for yourself, you fucking bullshit.
I don't know if he's getting paid because he's reading. So if he's reading, it's not from the heart. Come on, Michael. Michael! Michael! Say it from the heart. Say it with your chest, bro. Why are you reading off the phone? If he's getting paid, he better be getting paid. I respect it. I don't pocket watch. I don't pocket watch. Saying this wild shit. Good for you, Michael.
Artist, this is for you. You're not getting people frozen rent. You're not getting people free anything. You're a fucking liar. A fucking con artist. And we're gonna fight you tooth and fucking nail. And I am hoping I wake up on November 4th, 2025, and I can go like this.
That's going on the soundboard. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
That's an emphysema laugh. Dude, Michael, you gotta go to the pulmonologist. I'm not saying this to be funny. You gotta go get your health checked. Because that is not a smoker's laugh. That is an emphysema laugh.
And I can go like this. You thought you had it, you fuck. You thought you had it. You fuck you. Vote like your life depends on it. Vote like the city depends on it. Because unfortunately, it fucking does. And like I said, I know Cuomo ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. Trump ain't perfect. You ain't perfect. My wife ain't perfect. I'm whispering that. My kids ain't perfect. My parents ain't perfect. We're certainly not gonna get a perfect mayor of New York. Not this time. This motherfucker, Zoran Mandami, he's talking about change. It ain't gonna be the change for the better.
I mean, guards, Michael has lost his composure. This is not Michael Corleone. This is Fredo. This man has lost his mind. He's lost his mind. Unless he's getting paid. I hope he's getting paid. That's the only way that I will excuse it. This is related here. If we can see this tweet. Representative Andy Ogles out of Tennessee. I don't know why he would care about New York. You live in Tennessee. This man came to America for one reason. Let's make this big so you can read it. To turn America into an Islamic theocracy. I say no to Sharia law. That is why I presented an argument to have Mandami sent back to Uganda based on information he clearly withheld. I'm fighting to take our country back. DOJ must investigate. Don't threaten me with a ticket back to the motherland. Do not threaten me, dude. If I run for something, we're going to send his ass back to Spickland. We're going to send him back to Wetbackland. Don't threaten me with a good time. Do not threaten me. Because they got to pay for it. They got to pay for it. Ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. YC says, you will vote for Andrew Cuomo. That is the message. That is the message we're getting. Look. All right. He killed hundreds of people. Versus an Islamic theocracy. I mean, come on, man. Come on, Rep. Andy Ogles. What are you talking about? And someone here clearly said, and wokeness of all people. And wokeness. The concept of this man bringing Sharia law into America when this is him. And here we see some vanity shots here of Zoran with his Syrian wife. And with the transgender flag. What kind of Sharia law are we getting here, man? What kind of Sharia? What's going on here? Maurice says, it's not just him, it's 70 million people. He speaks for most voting Americans. Who do you mean, sir? Who speaks for most voting Americans? And what are they saying? Please enlighten me. I'd like to know. Make yourself clear. Let's continue. What else we got? We got, dude, this was pretty crazy to watch, man. As you guys know, I don't follow this Israel issue very closely. All right, I don't. This was wild, dude. I can't believe, look, I have to suspect at this point that the country is not just going crazy, dude. It's like a feedback loop. Because this woman, Batia, who's actually smart, okay? She from what I've seen, she's smart, all right? She's not a dumb lady. Listed out something that if anyone, Tucker Carlson, that historian guy that said that Hitler was a good guy or something. I don't know. I don't follow him. Martyr Maid. Dave Smith. And if any of these guys said it, dude, they would be called anti-Semitic. But she's just saying it with pride.
According to John Fetterman himself, his Zionism puts him out of step with the rest of his party, which, I'm sorry, only 13% stand with Israelis against the Palestinians. This is a party whose grassroots is right now captured by the left. And so Zionism does not have a future in the American left. The Democratic Party's relationship with Zionism depends on whether it's willing to repudiate that far left. And the thing that makes this so appalling is that Jews built the left in this country. We built the labor movement. We broke the New Deal. 70% of the lawyers who worked on civil rights cases were Jews. We've been at the forefront of every liberal and leftist issue in this country. The absolute chutzpah of saying, you're not welcome here. You know what it reminds me of? When they banned smoking in bars. I was a smoker, and I was...
That's about... Dude. She sounds like Candace Owens. Why would you say this? Why would you say... This is... And all the comments, I'm not... Well, maybe we'll show some of them. Dude, we can't, because YouTube... Dude, you can't say this, Batia, dear. Don't you know that this is what the anti-Semites of this world say? Why would you say it? It seems short-sighted, and I've always suspected that Batia is one of these people who's trying to drive the country nuts. And repeating anti-Semitic talking points, I don't know how this is supposed to be helpful or good. YC says, whoa. I say whoa as well. I'm not... Look, man. I don't think you want to open this can of worms. Considering the people who say this tradition... I've only ever heard this from Candace Owens and other people like that. Okay? Those are the only people who talk like this. And now Batia, who's nominally pro-Israel, is saying, you must be out your damn mind. All right, let's continue. We got Piers Morgan, the hero of the channel, the greatest. The Piers, we might actually get to react to him depending on time, doing his amazing thing. So he got mentioned on Joe Rogan's podcast. Let's see what Joe Rogan had to say, because I think Joe Rogan may be watching the King Leo show because he's copying us now.
You're on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan's the best at it.
Yeah.
Well, he gets everybody worked up.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's hang on. It's not hold on. Okay? It's hang on. Come on, Joe. Get it right.
Joy. Hold on, Joy. You just said.
Yeah, and then there's the finger going out like that,
Yes.
and then everybody joins in, and
Yeah, it's crazy.
This man here is half Venezuelan, dude, and don't remind me, all right? Look, it's a tough time to be Venezuelan, all right? I am just a humble fruit picker. Leave me alone.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But
He is
it's very
great at what he does.
entertaining. Very entertaining. And he figured something out, like do Maury Povich style with like today's social issues or anything that's in the news. But yeah, if you're at home and someone's doing that, you're like, shut the fuck up. You're gonna say something that you wouldn't say in polite
That's
company.
right.
yeah.
You're
So he got name dropped on the Joe Rogan podcast, and of course he replies. Because here Jay Stewart says, Joe Rogan does a hilarious Piers Morgan impression while crediting his show for being very entertaining. Will you be making an appearance on Joe Rogan to discuss your new book, Woke is Dead, Piers? We have to talk about Woke is Dead. Monumental book, required reading. I'd love to, but that's up to Joe. He could do his impression to my face. Let's play the clip. We gotta play the clip.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Piers, you're too good, bro. Making me go full Miami. Bro, you are too freaking good, bro. I think that Joe Rogan is not having Piers on because Joe Rogan's interviewed basically everyone. So he knows. So Joe Rogan knows that he has to interview Piers at the right time. Because what else is going to blow up the internet like Joe Rogan and Piers Morgan? Well, hang on. Joe, hang on. Come on, dude. Joseph Stalin, if you can hear me, please get Piers Morgan on Joe Rogan. Joseph Stalin, if you can hear me, please get Joe Rogan to have Piers Morgan on. Please. I need this in my life. Let's continue. So we have a shorter schizo watch. We got a lot to get to. What else we got here? We got, dude, this trend is crazy. Let's see this. I don't know what people are reading these days. Let's see this. This young woman over here reading, what is this? Some Russian book? You thought that was the only one? Let's see another one. Let's see what book she's reading here. What are people reading, bro? What is this? This is a trend now. What are they reading? What are these people reading? I have never read a book and had a fantasy like that. Whatever she's reading, we got to start reading over here. Getting that immersed in literature. Interesting. Let's continue. What else we got? Dude, this one's crazy, bro. So, for anyone that doesn't know, SNAP and EBT, is the working class going to snap? You know, the corny one. I need a laugh track for that one. I don't have that one there. All right. Look, I know because Miami is actually the city with the most seniors on EBT in the country. This is a serious issue. EBT is being cut off. People need EBT to eat. Everybody's gotta eat, as I always say. But some people are celebrating this. Some people are very happy that EBT is getting cut. I can tell you as a Walmart shareholder, I'm not happy. I think most of Walmart's revenue is EBT. And there's a claim that obviously there's some sort of racist or racially charged views on EBT. They're making AI black Americans mad at the EBT cuts. Let's see this TikTok. I don't know if this is true, but let's just watch.
This is AI. Here's how we know and why it matters. It's made by Impossible_ASMR1, who, after 8 failed slot posts and a 3-month break, decided that Sora could finally make their dream content. Videos of black women trying to use EBT in places it's not accepted. True creativity unleashed by AI. The shutdown created an opportunity to have them yell at the camera, but it's not till the whole family's back there that the full racist stereotype is fulfilled. This is rage bait and will get angry commenters who, when they learn it's AI, will say, oh, but it's true anyway? Which of course it's not, and that's cope for being played. They were so played they didn't notice the kid missing half an arm while the other kids are frozen in place for no reason, and these down here are warping together. They were too focused on this fake AI person cramming in a script that they used 3 other times for their other fake AI people. I will gladly knock down AI rage bait of all kinds and from anywhere on the spectrum because it's part of the same problem, casually letting our feed slip into fake, parallel AI universes that exist only to divide us.
Why is this relevant? Pop quiz to the Baudrillard. Why is this relevant, Baudrillardians? Why is it relevant? Because this, even here, a man with good intentions, trying to break down racism, trying to stop it, he cannot recognize. Makes me want to cry. These people, they're not ready. They're not ready for the message. They're not ready. Okay? It gets me emotional, man. To know that people out there are still trying to hang on to the real. It was never real, my friends. It was never real. It was never real. He's trying to say that it's not real because it's AI. No, my friend, it's more real than it could ever be. It reasserts the conclusions that people have. Tearing down this AI is not the way of beating this, man. You gotta make your own AI. You've got to make other parallel realities people can buy into. This is free advice from the book of Baudrillard, from our Baudrillardians. Do not fight on terms of reality. You will always lose in schizo world, in the hyperreal, where we live. All right, you will always lose. Make sure, man. Make sure. Pretend harder than they do. That's the only way to win in schizo world, dude. I'll admit, man, this is probably not great. It's making people crazy. But if you want to fix this, you cannot make TikToks telling people it's not real because it's more real than, yeah. This audience is smart. This audience fucking knows this, man. You guys are smart. Let's continue. We have Donald Trump, who made Halo PlayStation compatible to the point that GameStop was happy. And the Department of Homeland Security says finishing this fight, destroy the flood. We are in... what flood? What are we talking about? What is the flood? I would like to know what the flood is. What is the flood? Are we in Taxi Driver? Someday a great rain will come down and wash them away. What are we doing here, DHS? What are we doing? What are we doing? I love Halo as much as the next guy. I love Halo's great. I'm more of a COD guy, but we used to play Halo on the computers in middle school, dude. There was like a bootleg Halo. It was a great game. It was so much fun. Why is Commander-Chief going to deport a humble fruit picker like myself? Dude. Why is Commander-Chief going to deport me? I didn't do it. All I did was fix cars and pick fruit. Come on. I will be on time. Please, I will try my best. I'll try my best. Please. What are we doing here? Not nice, man. This tainting Halo. Just. I'm glad the console wars are over, but I'm still a PlayStation guy. I hate everything. What's up, man? How's New York? I see we're already talking about my favorite African American today. Oh, about Nick Fuentes? We are going to get there, my friend. We are going to get there. Hi, Aria. How you doing? How's New York, Aria? And I hate everything. How you guys doing? I dressed up as Master Chief would be cool. Would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie, Leo. I'd support that. Look, man. It would be cool, but I don't want to be put on a plane with Trend Aragua members just because I'm picking a strawberry. I'm fixing a Ford Pinto. I'm trying to make this country better, man. Who will clean your toilets, Donald Trump, if I get deported by Master Chief? It's not fair. I'm just a Latino trying to live. Let's continue. We have some more Mamdani slop. This political cartoon. Mamdani in the communist airplane. They should have made it a MiG or something. Crashing into one of the Twin Towers. I don't know where the other Twin Tower is. It says NY City. This is... oh boy. All right. There's so many. You've seen Zodiac. We've all seen Zodiac. It's a great David Fincher movie. David Fincher. Let's hear it for David Fincher. David Fincher, one of the greatest directors to ever live. 7. Top 5 David Fincher. Top 5. It's got to be 7, Social Network, The Game, The Killer, and Zodiac. It has to be those 5, all right? And you saw in the beginning of the movie how they critique these. This makes no sense. Where is the other tower? Why is the plane communist? What if it were a communist plane? You know, an old Soviet joke with a little spin. What costs 300,000 rubles? Blows smoke out of its ass and flies to Mexico. A Soviet plane meant to go to Japan, all right? What? This doesn't make sense. Where's the other tower? Who took it down? Obviously, we can say it's racist. Obviously, we can say it's communist phobic. I don't know if that's... We need to introduce that one. It's communist phobic. Any good Deng Xiaoping fan over here. This is Deng phobic. All right? This is Deng phobic. But overall, my brother, come on, man. Work on the cartoon. I don't like this car. It's not well done. It's not well done. It could be hitting One World Trade. That would make sense. This is one of the Twin Towers. Doesn't make sense to me. Item says, don't you mean Anne Frank? I am literally Nelson Mandela, dude. I am literally Nelson Mandela. I know exactly how Nelson Mandela felt like now that ICE is threatening to deport me dressed up as Master Chief. I know what it is. Arya says, Mamdani was smart to smile all the time. All the negative ads with him, they can't make him look scary because he's always smiling. Absolutely. Meanwhile, Sliwa looks like Che Guevara with his beret. There's some great Sliwa edits, man. They're so good. They're so good. I love the new Sliwa edits. We'll show them tomorrow. We got here. The country's going wild. And this is why I discourage debate. This is just fun. Let's just watch it.
Whatever his name was.
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
I think we need to... Whatever it's that.
Listen. You don't wish death on other people. You don't. You don't do it. It's not appropriate. But you do not approach people to debate them. Let them have their boomer fun. They just want to protest. Maybe they hate Charlie Kirk. Maybe they don't. Get out of their face, lady. What are we doing here? I want people to have a good time. All right, I said it to you guys. You guys better have had a good time this week. I know I had a good time. I was out at the bar, newly inaugurated old bar, having fun. Just, should I kill myself or have another on 8 milligram? Another on 8 milligram, obviously, to modify Camus. Leave the boomers alone. Leave them alone. Arya says, King Leo, did you see PBD? That's November 5th and 6th, I do believe, Arya. I'm going to live stream that. You watch. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I everything says, Sean from AJW made a good video on Mamdani. I have not seen that one. Not his best because more of a rant, but he's predicting that Mamdani is going to use Islamophobia when he gets any pushback or criticism. He has started to do that, but I got to say, he was very restrained with it. So, not gonna exactly hate it, you know? Here we have another. This is Gad Sad, the very famous. Gad Sad is such a sad man. Not to do a pun there, all right? Gad Sad, he really believes in reality, dude. He's been trying to deconstruct postmodernism. You can't deconstruct the deconstructors, my friend. You cannot deconstruct Baudrillard, my friend. We've already deconstructed him to begin with. Okay? I have beef with Gad Sad. Gad Sad, this is open invitation to debate you. All right? Open invitation to debate you on Baudrillard, on our real world. And he posted this. He posted a picture of the September 11th attacks, because we live in a snuff film world now, where September 11th is, I mean, it doesn't even matter anymore, right? And he says, please keep Zora Mamdani's aunts in your prayers. She suffered greatly on 9/11 when she lived in Tanzania and did not wear a hijab. My heart aches as I think of the Islamophobia of 9/11. Good luck, NYC. You had a good run. You live in Canada. What the fuck do you care? What do you care? What do you care, Gad Sad? You live in Canada. It's not just schizo country, bro. It's schizo world. Canada might as well be the 51st state if the Canadians are this mad about a New York municipal election. Gad Sad. Brother, why are you posting snuff films on the timeline? I don't like to relive 9/11. It was a terrible, terrible time. And look, man, it's how Tim Dillon did it first. But I had the same thought process. If Hilaria Baldwin wants to be Hispanic, let her be Hispanic. We will run from ICE together. Alec Baldwin, don't tase me, bro. Me and Hilaria will run away together from ICE. All right? We all get to do that. All right? If Zoran had an aunt in Tanzania, but he says she was in New York. She was in New York. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. God, bro, these realists, these modernists, they're just impossible. It's impossible to deal with them. I would prefer if they rename the No Kings to No Trump. It makes more sense. Yeah, I have a video coming up, man, about the Never Trump movement, bro. I think those guys are the real jihadists. I think they are. I heard it wasn't his actual aunt, it was his dad's cousin. Right, and haven't we all called our dad's cousin aunt? Come on, ethnics know about this, dude. What is your dad's cousin even? Is that like your second cousin twice removed? I don't even know what that means. That's my aunt. Gad Sad. You sad man. Arya says, haha, Hilaria Baldwin. Yeah, she deserves to be a little Hispanic if she wants to, as the great Tim Dillon said. We have, AOC's on the timeline fighting Riley Gaines, which I'm glad to see. Let's see Riley Gaines here.
Here's what I will say. I want to honestly challenge AOC to a debate. She can defend socialism. I will defend capitalism. She can defend removing God. I will defend embracing a biblical worldview. She can defend child sacrifice. I will defend the sanctity of life. Any of the radical, insane democratic policies and platform that they stand for, I will debate the opposite. I'm challenging AOC to it here.
Well, I thought you were going to challenge her to like a freestyle, 100 freestyle or something. I'm like, that's
that too.
That's an unfair fight. Or
no, a fair fight to her is putting a man in the pool.
Yeah, no, you can wear like 100-pound weight.
And AOC said, and I would challenge this person to get a real job. Bravo, AOC. Bravo, AOC. Dude, I'm not even a fan. Bravo. All right. You know anything about Puerto Rico and how it's looked on by other Hispanics? I will defend Puerto Rico now because of AOC. Thank you for saving me from a mind-numbing debate. What would come out of Riley Gaines and AOC fighting? She might as well challenge her to a mud wrestling match. That would be more entertaining. It's about time people embrace, we need to name it something, like not the Gavin Newsom style, like Newsomology. People need to embrace Newsomology. I will not debate you. I will not infect the minds of Americans with debate. Leave us alone. Leave Americans alone, Riley Gaines. Thank you, AOC. Thank you. Aria says, Riley Gaines is clearly trying to find a place in politics. AOC is much more relevant than Riley Gaines. Right, and I don't even know why she's doing this. She's already got a good way of eating. It's fine. Here we have our favorite punching bag here, Olivia Reingold, doing a John Oliver. And I hate John Oliver, dude. So, like, what? Let them fight?
Welcome to Yesterday Today. I'm your host, June Oliver. And tonight, we're doing the same thing we always do. Channeling our anger issues into a PowerPoint presentation. Our first victim tonight, get a load of this fatty, is Olivia Reingold, a journalist who recently reported facts that I did not like. I did not like them. Allow me to explain the job of a journalist. As a comedian, this is something I know a lot about. The number one job of a journalist is to increase happiness and diversity. And when a journalist fails to do that, that is not journalism. That is fascism. And look,
the clout chasing goes crazy. Olivia posting cringe. Olivia, dear. Hire a writer. Olivia, this is not funny. Olivia, look, you have a lot of Botox, but you're a good-looking young lady. I'm sure you're smart. Okay? But Olivia, come on. We can't be posting cringe on the timeline like it's 2017. Come on, Olivia. If we're posting like it's 2017, can we have Lil Uzi Vert back? EXO Tour Life? Can we have Life of Pablo back? Waves? Come on, Olivia. Come on. The clout chasing goes crazy, Olivia. What are we doing here? I know you have so much more to offer the world, Olivia. Come on. I'm disappointed. All right, everything says, I would watch that, LOL. At least that would be entertaining. And the guy who called AOC a big booty Latina is a referee. Alex Stein, the greatest. I know a guy who knows him. He says he's great in real life. He's the same guy. I would watch Alex Stein debate AOC because Alex Stein does not believe in debate. He believes... Alex Stein is a secret Baudrillardian. He might be one of our guys. All right, he says, this is such slop. It's so cringe. It is cringe. Olivia, you can do better. And I think we can end here with this last bit of schizo news from Friday. You know what? This is boring, dude. We have to get to our real story. All right, let's just eliminate this. All right, let's get to Nick Fuentes. And let's go to YouTube to set the context, okay? Let's go to YouTube. Nick Fuentes, we manifested this, as I said, because we talked about him on Friday, and he releases his interview with Tucker Carlson on Sunday. Let's see how this is. I did not like this interview. I watched the whole thing for the show. Let's see what it is. Let's see what happened here. All right. And we're going to critique it from a meta-politics lens. Okay?
Nick Fuentes, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I wanted to meet you. I've heard about you.
I've heard about you.
So, well, thank you. I want to understand what you believe, and I want to give you a chance in a minute to just lay it out, not what you're pivoting against, which are a lot of the same thing. You know, I agree with you on some of the things you're pivoting against for sure, but what do you affirmatively believe? So I just want to stand back and let you explain it. But first, I want to understand how you got to where you are, how you became Nick Fuentes. So this is my understanding of your life arc, and tell me if I'm wrong. You show up at Boston University. You grew up in a suburb of Chicago, kind of working class, western suburb, and you show up at Boston University in the fall of...
All right. Let's get some context here. Okay? This has 2.5 million views in 24 hours. It has 46,000 comments. This was the Reagan, Gorbachev, and Reykjavik of our time, okay? These guys, I don't think they liked each other previously. Tucker Carlson accused Nick Fuentes of being gay, as in a homosexual. I mean, those used to be fighting words, dude, if someone said that, okay? Tucker Carlson, as we've repeatedly said on the show, is on the war path to make this country insane. And we're going to confirm that with the end of this interview, okay? Nick Fuentes is a young Hispanic man like myself. We must be running from ICE together. And they finally met. This is in the context of Nick Fuentes. You know who broke the dam? PBD, baby. PBD interviewed Nick Fuentes on the PBD podcast. And it was so epic that everyone else started interviewing him. And now this is the peak. I don't think Nick Fuentes is going to get any bigger than this, man. Because Tucker is... what is he? He's like the evil Walter Cronkite. You know, he's trying to make us crazy. He's not exactly trying to give us journalism. He's just trying to make us go mad. Okay? So this is a big deal for Tucker Carlson to platform this guy to his 5 million subscribers. Now, I never thought this would happen because Nick Fuentes is in Tucker's... it's so confusing at this point, man, because Nick Fuentes is supposed to be anti-Semitic. Tucker has flirted with that, from what I understand, or just anti-Israel. I can't even tell anymore, dude. I can't tell. And it's not my fault, and it's not your fault, okay? But they didn't like each other, and now they're meeting together. But what I found so interesting, and I don't know if you saw it there, we're going to watch a little more from just this video here. We have a lot of moments to get to, which are important, is that Tucker Carlson... Nick Fuentes has like no charisma when he's being interviewed. It's really weird because from the clips from the show, he's actually very charismatic on his show. But when he's being interviewed, he kind of like settles down. And what you'll find here is that Tucker Carlson is trying to bring him back from being a schizo. I'm not calling him a schizo. I'm saying what Tucker Carlson is doing. But Tucker Carlson is king schizo. He's the one who's saying that the September 11th was an inside job to boomers. He's the one saying that Emmanuel Macron's wife is a man. Tucker Carlson is not the guy to be doing this. I just don't get it. Exactly. Aria says Tucker Carlson called Fuentes gay a few years. I think just a few weeks ago. I'm confused. How are you doing, Efra? I honestly think Nick Fuentes and people that think like him are irrelevant very soon. I think it's possible, Efra. I think so too. Because this is like a total normalization of Nick Fuentes. And I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Everything says Nick Fuentes is an RN in his own words. Well, we're going to have to... I think Nick Fuentes may actually be a Baudrillardian secretly, man. Because he expressed admiration for one of our guys on this channel. And we'll see that later. And Everything says the interview with Candace was just a date. Candace, I cannot handle Candace. So let's watch a little more.
2016, at the height of the battle between Trump and Hillary. It's like this kind of pivot point in history. And you show up with a MAGA hat and you have a Trump hat and you have like basically off-the-shelf Republican views.
Yes.
And so describe the views that you had then and then describe what happened.
I wanted to play this through because I'm just so confused as to who Tucker is supposed to be. He's like a John Bircher, right? I mean, he's playing this hokey pokey, I'm just a guy in a cabin in Maine type of guy. Well, who made this for him and who buys this? Dude, he's a wasp. Well, he's Swedish, but he's basically a wasp. How can you buy this stuff? I don't get it.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I was very political. I was reading a lot of the libertarian stuff.
Look, bad posture, low voice. Tucker over here doing the Tucker eyes. In his cabin. And by the way, Tucker says that they get together the day before. So you'd expect him to have more of a report, but he's asking him to give his whole story.
Austrian school, Chicago school, economic type literature, because that's what was popular at the time. If you went online in the early 2010s, that's all the conservative content there really was. That was the most extremely online type stuff.
Libertarian economics.
Well, yeah, basically kind of the remnant of the Ron Paul revolution.
Yes.
The Young Americans for Liberty, PragerU, which kind of skews a little more, I guess, conservative, but very basic small government, individualism, libertarian type stuff.
So you watch PragerU videos?
Oh, yeah. I was in the Prager Force.
What's that?
It's a Facebook group for college kids, and they promote the PragerU videos.
Wow.
To the college students and high school students.
So you really were a product of the moment.
Absolutely.
And how'd you feel about Trump?
Well, initially, I didn't like Trump when the primary started.
See, it's like low energy. It's boring. I don't get it. And for that, we're going to go to Twitter to look at the actual clips, and then we're going to go back here and find the ones that weren't clipped. Because it's boring. It's boring. It's very boring. All right, let's go here to one of these Clipper channels. Nick Fuentes said something that I really liked here about Mark Levin, who we covered on this channel. Mark Levin is clearly just racist, right? I mean, we know this. We've said this on this channel. He called Zohran Mamdani a literal KKK member. And Nick Fuentes, well, I'll let it speak for itself. Arya says, what is Tucker drinking? AG1 maybe sponsored. I don't know. It was like a brown thing in a plastic water bottle. I'm not sure what he was drinking. It's a good question, Arya. It's a good question. Let's see this clip here. All right.
You're going to love this. I don't know if I've ever even said this on an interview before. I was listening to Mark Levin's show. This goes to show how normie I was.
Actually?
I listen to him every day.
You listen to Mark Levin every day?
In high school, yes.
Wow.
I was a fan. I loved his show, and I actually liked how he was kind of obnoxious and mean to his callers.
Yeah.
Vicious, and I liked that. I thought that was funny. But I'll never forget one show. He goes live, and he says, America's becoming a majority non-white country. Does anybody think that's a good idea? And I was thinking to myself, yeah, that actually doesn't sound so good. I didn't really even think that America's becoming majority minority like that.
Wait, so you were radicalized on race by Mark Levin?
Yes.
Are you making that up? Or that's
a real story.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. He planted the seed at least.
That is not surprising, man. We on this channel know this. Mark Levin, and this is why Mark Levin is so dangerous in my view, okay? He really, dude, we saw what he said about Zohran. Mark Levin talks mad shit, dude. Mark Levin says some crazy shit. And if you can trace Nick Fuentes, his whole thing, I looked into it over the weekend. All right, he's an accused anti-Semite. He's an accused racist. I won't say it because I don't know. Okay, I don't know what's in his heart. I don't know what he is. All right. But Mark Levin is the kind of guy, dude, if you were watching Mark Levin during this New York election, you would think that Zohran Mamdani wants to cut your head off because you're gay. That's what you would think. You would think that Zohran Mamdani wants your wife in a hijab and he wants you to hit her and get away with it. Mark Levin is a dangerous force, dude. He's just as bad as Jesse Kelly. I made a video about Jesse Kelly a while back. It's still public, I think. I'll make it for members at some point. Mark Levin is one of these radicalizers, dude. These guys, look, Adam Curtis, famous documentary director, he says, do not summon the forces you don't understand. And Mark Levin summoned them, man. And if Nick Fuentes is a disciple of Mark Levin, what does that even mean? That means that it can all be all of this blame that these conservatives want to place on Nick Fuentes goes back to their own people. It's just ridiculous. I says, I think Tucker told him to not go Nick Fuentes because he didn't want to get banned because the whole Nick Fuentes character is not having no filter. Dude, but the thing is, he on every interview that I saw of him to prepare for this, I saw the Red Scare one, I saw the PBD one, obviously. It's just, I don't understand why he's so low energy and so boring in an interview. Because he's very funny in the clips I see on Twitter. Let's continue. Here they ask Nick Fuentes about why he attacked certain people in the Republican Party, including Joe Kent, which, quick story. I met Joe Kent. I met him at Trump Doral like 6 years ago because Anthony Sabatini was there and I wanted to go see him. He was one of our state reps. It was like $100 to get in, so I was like, fuck it, I'll go see him. I actually met Elijah Schaefer there too. And I met Joe Kent, and I actually got along really well with him. I usually get along with feds. They have like an interesting way of speaking. And as someone who was interested as a kid in like how Fed ops work and all that, Joe Kent was an interesting guy. I didn't hate Joe Kent. But I never trusted Joe. I was like, dude, this guy literally worked for the CIA. Why would anyone trust this guy? And Tucker Carlson is buddies with him. Take of that what you will. Tucker Carlson's dad was CIA. I don't know if Tucker Carlson is. According to Vladimir Putin, he is. And I think that's a source Tucker would like. But he's mad at Nick Fuentes for attacking his fellow comrade, his fellow CIA comrade. Let's watch.
I mean, and Ben Shapiro seems irrelevant to me now.
But back then, for the young,
guess that's
huge.
true.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you won.
Oh, certainly.
So here's my question. So I look at the landscape.
I also like this. I like the admission. I don't know if they coordinated this. It's good to know that Ben Shapiro is irrelevant. I was never a Ben Shapiro fan. I always considered Ben Shapiro to be annoying. Ben Shapiro is a privileged, annoying debater, master debater. But it's cool to have the confirmation from other guys in this industry that Ben Shapiro is irrelevant because I've been saying it on this show for months. And I think that's true. So let's continue.
Now, and the people I see as, I'll narrow it down to foreign policy. Okay. Who is effectively opposing neoconservative foreign policy, which has been the dominant foreign policy of the United States for my entire life, which has been so destructive, I think, and I've seen it. Who are the voices who are sincere in their opposition to that and who have some ability to change the country's orientation on foreign policy? And those would include Marjorie Taylor Greene, J.D. Vance, Matt Gaetz, me. But you've attacked all of those people.
Yeah.
Why would you, and almost Joe Kent, those strike me as someone who's really interested in this topic. I'm not that interested in the Jews, but I'm very interested in the foreign policy question. Those seem like the most sincere people. Those seem like the only hope of the country to get away from this destructive, really self-destructive cycle. Why attack them?
Well, in short, they attacked me first.
Yeah, but who cares?
Well, let's take Joe Kent.
I mean, you attack me constantly.
Well,
and I'm like, I don't really give a shit. I want to meet the guy.
You attack me first, too.
No. But what I'm saying is I'm not whining about it. Sure. I'm just saying, so? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't say so because, take Joe Kent, for instance. I supported Joe Kent, and I talked to Joe Kent. I got introduced to him by Matt Braynard. Matt Braynard went to my conference in 2021. He bought a table.
Was he his campaign manager?
He was.
Okay.
Or he was a consultant, but he was on the campaign, yeah. And so I met Matt Braynard. He liked me a lot. He loved my conference. in February 21, which he bought a table at for his organization, Look at America. And in 2021, we, and by we, I mean my nonprofit and myself and my team, we wanted to support America First candidates in the midterms. Like you said, authentic opponents.
Me too.
Yeah. And
That's
so
how I found Joe Kent.
Yes. And so I met a lot of the people in that sort of scene. Like Ryan Gerdusky, I know, is very supportive of Joe Kent, and other people that are more private I don't want to name, but they put me on, not just to Joe Kent, but Patrick Witt in Georgia, Gibbs in Michigan, a lot of different people. And Joe Kent was one of them. And I had a phone call with Joe Kent. And I told him, I had my assistant on the phone too, who's Jewish, by the way, just because I want you to know I'm cool like that. You know, I don't judge. But so I'm on the phone with Joe, and I said, look, we support you and we want to do everything we can to help you.
Now, I am confused as to how a anti-neocon guy nominally can support Joe Kent given that he was in the CIA. But what I find more interesting is that Joe Kent is still a Fed. He's the National Counterterrorism Center director. Okay? Joe Kent did not get hurt by this. Joe Kent is a Fed. He's a Fed. And he came out on top. So why would Tucker even be mad about this? And why would Fuentes support this guy? I'm really not understanding it, man. He began serving as the chief of staff to Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, confirmed by the Senate in July. This guy's a Fed. He's a Fed. He's a Fed. So I just don't understand why you would support this guy. And even if you did, why would you even be mad? Like, why is Tucker mad about this? It doesn't make sense to me. He came out on top. He's fine. I don't get it. I struggle to understand the motivations of both Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson here. Joe Kent is a Fed, and he did well. Aria says, I get the feeling that Nick Fuentes is sincere and Tucker Carlson is not a fan of either of them, but I think Tucker is not sincere. I do think Nick Fuentes is more sincere than Tucker Carlson. I do agree with that, Aria. Absolutely. Mr. Elu, how you doing? Was Nick Fuentes sincere after the assassination of Charlie Kirk? I don't think he was, man. But at least he was respectful publicly, because most people were not. I never says CIA Jedi mind tricks. Right, but Nick Fuentes is supposed to be immune to that, right? Immune to feds and all this stuff. Joe Kent is clearly a Fed. He's a total Fed. So why would you support him? Look, I'm not a purist, okay? But if someone tells me that they're not a neocon, but they served in the CIA during the GWOT, the Global War on Terror, I'm going to have my doubts. I'm going to be confused about that. I'm going to say, what changed your mind? But they just skip over that altogether. Mr. Elu says they fired Colonel Davis for being against neocons. I don't know who Colonel Davis is, man. I'm going to look that up. All right, says, I'm not sure. I don't know how he reacted. I just know he was defensive because the first assumption was that Kirk was killed by a Groyper. Right, but at least he was quiet. He didn't go to the PBD marathon show where they mourned him.
Want to have my followers knock on doors for you. We want to boost your social media. Anything that you need, we want to help you. I said, and we don't even want to be publicly associated. I said, because we know that might hurt you. I said, the only thing that we ask in return is you can't disavow me if the media asks. And you can say whatever you need to say, but you can't disavow. And he said, yeah, I totally agree with you, because if we start disavowing each other, then we're just going to eat each other alive and the left wins. We're in agreement. And a couple months later, Joe tweeted in support of me because I had been banned on all social media. I was on the no-fly list. So he said something on Twitter like, you know, Nick Fuentes shouldn't be banned. He should not be censored. A month after that, I put out on Twitter, I said, Joe Kent is one of the most impressive America First candidates that's running in 22. Well, fast forward a whole year later, I do my annual conference, AFPAC, in February 22. Marjorie Taylor Greene attends. It's we had 1,200 people, and it got a lot of media attention. And I'm driving home, because I'm on the no-fly list at this time. I'm driving home from Florida.
Can I ask you to pause? By no-fly list, you mean not extra scrutiny, but like not allowed to fly in airplanes in the United States?
Not allowed to fly, yes.
How old were you?
I was 23.
Did you have any felony convictions?
No.
Okay. How can I wasn't even aware that could happen. How long were you not allowed to fly in airplanes in the United States?
1 year.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, I just want to get that out there.
No, yeah, it's brutal.
And you confirm that you were not allowed to fly in airplanes?
Yes,
period.
I have the letter from the TSA, yeah. I was on the do not board list.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's crazy. But so anyway, so I'm driving home from Florida after my conference, and I get people start texting me. Joe Ken is on Twitter, and he says, I condemn Nick Fuentes, especially his views on Israel. That's the tweet.
Now, I understand we have some Fuentes fans. That's fine. That's fine. I have no problem with that. This is so suspicious to me, dude. This is so sus. This is coming off like a naive idiot. Because how can you be surprised that you are betrayed by someone who was a member? People don't understand this. CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, is a school for criminals. When you join, you are trained to do something which is illegal in every country of the world, which is espionage. Why would you ever? I don't know if it's because I'm from Miami, dude, and there's a lot of CIA people here. But why would you ever trust someone who had that affiliation? And Fuentes doesn't strike me as a naive idiot. So why would he be saying this? Just, it reeks of kayfabe, dude. It reeks of like pro wrestling crap. I don't get it. Why would you trust someone who was in the CIA? Dude, look, I've spoken to the last guy who spoke to Che Guevara, okay? Felix Rodriguez. All right? He's a Fed. He was CIA. Have I ever trusted? Absolutely not. I have never trusted the man. Never. I like talking to him. I think he's interesting. Would I endorse him for something? Would I trust him with a cookie? I would not, because they literally go to school to become criminals. So what is going on here? I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's catch up on our chats here. Oh boy. All right, guys. I don't know about his sexual life. I even says never trust never trust, dude, for life, man. Even your own family. If you have someone in your family that works for some insurance company out of Milwaukee and they're never around, don't trust them. They go to school to become criminals. That's what they do. That's the purpose of Quantico. Well, not Quantico, Langley. It's to make criminals, by definition. Mr. Elu says, School of Americas. Kayfabe is a perfect description. It wasn't Klaus Barbie. Right. Like that is the genealogy of these feds, man. It's Klaus Barbie. It's Felix Rodriguez. It's Ted Shackley. It's these guys. So why would you trust them? It makes me really suspicious of Nick Fuentes to hear him saying something like this.
And I texted Joe and I said, seriously? And he texts me back and he says, we win by addition, not subtraction. I go, well, you just subtracted me out of the movement. I said, because I don't support you anymore. He goes back for seconds. He goes on Twitter and says, Nick Fuentes and his focus on race and religion does not fit with my message of inclusive populism. Inclusive.
Look, my producer, we got a producer now, by the way, now that we hit 1,000 subs. My producer is telling me to tell you guys, to make it more succinct, these guys are trained in deception. In deception. Do you know the FBI motto, which you should apply in your life? It's a very good motto. Deny everything, admit nothing, make counter accusations. That's exactly what Fuentes describes in this clip. That's exactly what he's describing in this clip. Exactly that. So I'm confused, man. Either Nick Fuentes is a political genius that understands everything, or he's a naive idiot. And I need some clarification there, man. You're going to trust someone trained in the ways of deception? All right, dude. Why don't you trust the cops then? Why don't you trust... My mother told me when I was a kid, 3 people you don't trust. This is real Latino wisdom, real fruit picker wisdom. Journalists, lawyers, and police. 3 people you never trust. Never, ever, 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 ever. So what are we doing here, Nick? I'm confused. How are you doing, my friend? What's up? Ivan says, a perfect example. Look at Vladimir Putin, worked in the KGB and has been in power forever. There are known and unknowns. Yes, there are known knowns and unknown unknowns. Right, these people are designed to manipulate you. I'm telling you, dude, if you ever meet a Fed, you will have the best conversation. I had a great conversation with Joe Kent. I'm not fucking with you, dude. I got to talk to him about the 1954 coup in Guatemala. I talked to him about ISIS. We talked about all sorts. Do you think I gave him my number? Do you think I took his? No, I don't want to be anywhere near that guy. I'll have a great conversation. I don't want you anywhere near me, dude. I met Mike Pence. Okay? Do you think I got his number? I did not. I don't want anything to do with you, dude. If you fall into the orbit of a Fed, your life will get fucked up. I don't understand what Fuentes is doing here, man. I don't get it. Fuentes says, Nick Fuentes is an idiot, Leo. Dude, I mean, that's the impression I get watching this, because it's ridiculous. Mr. Elu says, based advice. Based mechanic fruit picker advice. Fuentes is a naive idiot. I don't know if that's the hashtag, man, but like, dude, this is naive idiocy. It really is. It really is, man. Even if you're a fan, how can you defend that? How can you? Yeah. And Hyatt Evans says, he already knew your number, Leo. He always knew my number of all time. Right. And it's fine. Look, I'm telling you, man, like, they have good, dude, I met a Fed. I probably shouldn't repeat this, but I'll say, dude, I met a Fed who gave me the inside scoop of how they were sending weapons to Ukraine. Bro, because Feds are talkative people. Because they never know what you can offer. All right? He told me how they were sending them to Ukraine. All right? I never spoke to that guy again. I don't want to know him. He's an interest. I don't want to know who he is. Just crazy. Crazy. Forehat says, stand by you always said it's better to be correct than first. Yeah, it's better to be correct than first. Absolutely. Being first is usually wrong, actually. Let's continue.
Populism. That doesn't sound like authentic America first. That sounds like bullshit to me. And I don't know. I know he's your friend, but I don't know him that well. And
right.
I'm not on the team.
Well, so my read on Joe Kent was he's totally sincere. He, like me, has.
And this is where dude, like, if Tucker's not working for someone, his dad was a Fed. He's totally sincere. A Fed can never be totally sincere. It's in their nature. It's in their nature, man. Because they have to be insincere to function. Do not trust. Look, I love Bob Baer. Dude, I love Bob Baer. Unholy Alliance, amazing book. Okay? I would love to meet him. I would love to talk to him. But he's a Fed. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. Arya says, King Leo, what do you mean by Fed? Anyone who works for the federal government. No, not like if you work for, I don't know, the Department of like Energy or something, right? I mean, there's Feds there, but anyone who goes to a school that's designed to make you a liar, like Quantico or Langley, are people you shouldn't trust. This applies to cops too, man. Cops are trained in deception too. Cops are meant to make you feel like they're your buddy. And then they go, so who is Tucker here to say that he's totally sincere? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's continue.
Always been committed to separating out like foreign policy views from ethnicity, not because, I mean, obviously I'm denounced as an anti-Semite every day. Mm-hmm. So I don't really care what ADL thinks of me, but my Christian faith tells me that there's no such thing as blood guilt.
And here we have Tucker trying to talk Nick Fuentes off the racialism lens, off the racist ledge. Tucker Carlson is appealing to his Christian faith. Tucker Carlson, brother, you told people that you were attacked by demons, that you woke up and you thought you were attacked by demons. You are a schizo. How can you talk anyone down off the ledge? Look, All right, this is advice for feds, but this is advice in general. If someone ever comes to you and they tell you, well, let's use I hate everything as an example. Hey, I hate everything. I was attacked by demons last night, dude. I was walking home at night alone, and suddenly a demon came up to me and took my wallet. What I hate everything should do in that situation is go, okay, thank you very much. I'm not going to trust you anymore because you thought that you getting mugged is a demon. Tucker Carlson, who sleeps with his dogs, thinks that he's being attacked by demons because he wakes up with scratches. So, who is Tucker Carlson to talk anyone off the ledge? It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's move on. That's enough for Joe Kent. This here was pretty funny. Ivan says, I could never meet a Fed because they'll either invite me to their organization or put me on their list. We cannot be afraid of the Feds. We cannot be afraid of the Feds, man. John Mouse, cop killer. We got to get rid of the Fed in our head, you know? If you have a chance to meet them, talk to them, dude. It's a good conversation. They're very open as they can be. Andrew Bustamante, the famous Fed. I actually like the guy. I actually think he's a charismatic guy. He lives 2 hours from me in St. Pete. I'd like to meet him before he disappears, you know? Fuentes says, hope you... I got you there. Ivan says, I was attacked by angels. We are not the same abs. I'm attacked by angels. That's a good response. That's a good Baudrillardian response. Perhaps, Tucker, you were attacked by angels. Mr. Ephra says, the whole financial system is based on deception, especially in the tech sector. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. Everything is deception. Nothing is what it seems, but it also is exactly what it seems. Isn't that the product of where we live? So here he asked Nick Fuentes who should be the next president. And look, I got to admit to you guys, I don't care what he does. I understand some people don't like him. I am a Kanye West fan for life. I love Kanye West. Sincerely, I have loved Kanye West since I was a teenager. To me, Kanye West can do no wrong. I may not agree with everything he says, but I love Kanye West. Okay, I really do. The Taylor Swift thing was hilarious. The thing when he said George Bush doesn't care about black people. He has done too much good for me to disavow or dislike. I love Kanye West. And if Kanye West wants to be president, shit, man. Kanye is the guy who wants to eliminate school and replace it with engineering school for everyone. Okay, I love him. I'd like to give him a shot. Why not? Why not? All right. So I actually didn't hate this here. Mr. Elu says, do you trust John Kiriakou? Not as far as I could throw him, man. And John gets this pass because he was arrested. Dude, you think these feds don't know what they're doing? You think they don't know how to build credibility with people? I would love to talk to him. I like John Kiriakou, like the way he speaks, his storytelling. Although it's a little bit Fed-like. It's too. When you talk to feds, you notice that they like to talk a bit too much. But I don't trust them. I don't trust them. So let's see here.
So who's gonna be president? Who should be president next?
Who should be president? Well, Ye, of course. Kanye.
I can't. I love Kanye, man. I really can't. He I love him so much. I love him so much.
You had dinner with Trump.
I did.
And Kanye.
Yes.
What did you think of that?
It was surreal. Because those are my two heroes. Those are my two, number one heroes of all time. I've always been a Kanye West fan.
You like the music first?
Yes. The music, the fashion, everything.
Really?
Yes.
Do you wear those weird one-piece shoes?
I do.
I have the weird one-piece shoes, dude. I love Kanye, man. I love him, bro. I hope they make the Yeezys again with Adidas. I love Kanye. I really do. Yandhi and Yeezus 2, best unreleased albums. Clockwork Orange, great track, man. I'll go for the deep cuts, dude. I love Kanye. So, nothing to disagree with here. Kanye is the best.
Actually do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like in public?
Yes. You don't think that's cool?
No, I do. I don't know what
I wear them too, bro. I don't care. I still wear the Vulture shirt. I still wear the Life of Pablo shirt. I love the guy. I love him.
I'll get you some. I've worn the same clothes since high school. Don't ask me about clothes. I'm not good at that at all. That's hilarious. So, but you've always been a fan.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
huge fan.
You described your love for Trump, like sincere
Yes.
childhood love for Trump. So what was it like to find yourself at dinner with them?
It was funny because it was literally Thanksgiving dinner. It was 3 days.
I would have loved to be at that dinner. I thought that was so interesting, man. That'd be so cool to meet Kanye and Trump at the same time. Two titans. Even if you dislike Trump, dude, come on. You'd like to meet him. Come on. Arya says, I like what he has to say about Mossad. I just like listening to what he says, but I don't know much about him. Kiriakou was supposedly arrested because he leaked the torture program. Supposedly. I don't know. Fullhat says, people are using every last one of us. Absolutely, man. They're using your brains, your emotions. They're putting inputs to get specific outputs. Absolutely. I had everything says, dinner with Fuentes, Trump, and West is the ultimate postmodernist table. Listen, bro. The most postmodern... For me, top three. It's got to be Jesus, Baudrillard, and I got to throw in Fidel Castro or Stalin. It's got to be those three. That's my dream dinner. Like, can you imagine being a fly in the wall in that what? These guys are nuts. I love it. It'd be awesome. All right, let's continue. Here we go into the gender relations. I've said before that the gender relations stuff, I think that it's being pushed in order to make us crazy. But let's see what Nick Fuentes has to say about women.
I personally find women very frustrating when they are not expressing, and I just view that as like...
That's the beauty of it.
I see, the way I look at it is like when you look at your favorite TV shows,
right?
The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, it's like the wife is the villain because it's like the main character, if the wife could just get out of the way, would be running the show. And that's kind of how I feel like Ayn Rand, I agree with her about this. She said that the wife's role is like hero worship. The guy is the hero. The guy is supposed to be the entrepreneur.
And then this is where... All right, if we're praising Ayn Rand, I don't get it. I'm a Frank Lloyd Wright fan. I'll admit, I like The Fountainhead. I could not read Atlas Shrugged. It was too much for me, man. I didn't like Atlas Shrugged. I didn't like Anthem. I like Fountainhead. It's a good book. But Nick Fuentes quoting Ayn Rand to Tucker Carlson. What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing? And I just, dude, I don't think that this is a message that is going to work. I think it's over. All right. I think that gender relations, if this continues, this conversation, it's going to get worse. You guys got to check out my video today that I put out about the Clintons. They have the best relationship of all time. You need to find your Hillary Clinton, your Bill Clinton. That's real love. Okay. Because guys, this is not good. This is not good to be saying this stuff. I'm not white knighting for women or men. I'm just saying, dude, we have gone off the reservation here. When we're quoting Ayn Rand, who said she would only give a blowjob if it was for herself, this is too much for me. Too much for me. I don't like it. Let's I think we can get to the reactions here, and then we're just gonna get to one part here and see if we can start Piers Morgan. We won't be able to finish it tonight. But this is Asmongold, a streamer, talking about this. Let's catch up with our chats. Mr. Elu says, I don't blame Bill Maher for eating dinner with Trump. Can you imagine how Bill Maher's so spoiled? He got that opportunity. I hate Bill Maher. I can't stand the man. No, actually, dinner with Bill Maher is my dream dinner. Oh, that's ridiculous. I'm an atheist. It would be terrible. Oh my God. I love the guy who does the Bill Maher impression, Cal Dunningham. It's so funny. Full hat. I'm making the trailer to explain it, my friend. I'm still working on it. Deconstructing narratives, Base King Leo. Thank you, Mr. Elu. Mr. Ephra says, sometimes people you completely disagree with politically are actually some of the most chill people. There's a difference between personal disagreements and political disagreements. Dude, I've hung out with radicals before, dude. Radical right-wingers, radical left-wingers in South Florida. It's always a good time. People are people at the end of the day, and that includes women, which Nick Fuentes is like attacking here. People are just people at the end of the day, man. People are the same. It says happy wife, happy life. That's where we're going. That's where we're going. This is crazy. The textbook definition would be deconstructing narratives. That would be it. Virtue of Selfishness, I have not read Mystery Love. I've only read her fiction. K4S Chance says, you said nothing. About what? Look, I'll look up the definition and I'll paste it in the chat. All right, let's see what the actual definition is from like Merriam-Webster, but I'm not going to be satisfied with it. Here we go. This is the definition that they provide. Let's do this here. Because we have to... I gotta finish the trailer, dude. I gotta finish the trailer. Here's the actual dictionary definition of postmodernism. All right? Yes, because modernism is a total nihilist cope that people have. Of like, things have meaning, things exist. So let's watch Asmongold, because this is true inception here. We have to watch how right-wing streamers, I assume Asmongold's like a libertarian type, is reacting to this.
So, imagine showing a screenshot of this to someone in 2022. Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson discuss global Jewry and how it opposes Americanism. This shit has gone mainstream. Yeah. Oh my God. So
people are celebrating it. I watched the interview. That didn't really happen, in my opinion. They tried to talk about it, and then Tucker was trying to talk Nick Fuentes off a ledge. And yes, sorry, Andy Warhol is one of the heroes.
What is this? Autists, when a 2.5-hour Tucker Carlson Nick Fuentes interview drops.
Popcorn, soda, pickled garlic. Hurry, honey! Hit the remote. This is gonna be great! So exciting!
Oh boy!
Yeah!
Oh God. Bro, a VHS tape. It's been a while, right? What is this?
People are lonely, man. People are lonely. Yeah, I don't see how getting excited about something like this to that level. Come on, dude. It's a 2.5 hour. I watched it to get ready for this, but who's that jittery about it? Who's that jittery? But all right, people have their fun. I'm not gonna shit on people's fun. I'm not gonna get. Fuentes says it's all bullshit, bro. That's what postmodernism is, my friend. It's all bullshit. You're getting it. So here, this is the part here that made me think that Nick Fuentes may be our guy. He may be watching the show, because look at what he said here. This is him in the context of talking about the assassination attempt on his life.
Eventually it just blew over. About a month passed. And at that time, so it was like late December. It's actually funny. It was December 18th. I remember because that's an important date to me. And it's Joseph Stalin's birthday.
Oh.
I'm a fan.
You're a fan of Stalin's?
Mm-hmm. Always an admirer. But we don't need to go into that, I guess.
What? I always thought he was a Hitler guy. I didn't know he was a Stalin. What? Okay. Here we go. All right. Very cool. Is he our guy? Is Nick Fuentes a secret Baudelardian? Joseph Stalin, the only man who could defeat the postmodern world and get people to the moon. Come on. Mr. Elu says that's why streamers are popular. Right. But I just, look, I don't have a problem with streamers. Because, look, like even what we're doing here, we're actually adding value to each other's lives here, guys. You're tuning in. I'm tuning in to you as well. This is a give and take. And you guys are providing me with real information. And I'm providing you with what I think is real information. We're trying to deconstruct the world, trying to understand it really. But an interview, like a 2.5 hour interview with someone you like, I guess maybe if I was interviewed and you guys were excited about it, I would get it. But I come on, like that level of excitement. It's very infantilized is what I'm saying. You could be like, oh, dude, that's cool. You're doing an interview. But the infantilization is where I'm like, what? What? Evan says the Candace interview was better. It was more conflictive at least. But either way, he's just such low energy in an interview context. Full Hat says Leo needs to get on the right side of history, brother. There is no right side of history. Mr. Elu says he probably likes Stalin's social conservatism. I think that, dude, come on. Stalin, if it's just that, then it's not worth it, dude. Because Stalin was, come on, bro. He took them to space. What? He took them to space by sheer will. You know, he defeated one of the greatest armies in the world. You know, we'll do a Stalin stream at some point. Yes, and I had everything says Stalin left his own brother, his own son to die. Like, this was a postmodern understander. This was a real man who understood the context of the world. Fuad says, if postmodern is a direct representation of the Obama library being built, that explains everything. Absolutely. You mean the Death Star? Absolutely. Everyone's a kidult now, says Mystery. Absolutely, man. Like using SpongeBob to react, it's just crazy. All right, everybody. Let's take a break, and then we're gonna look a little bit at the what's this called, man? The Piers Morgan beautiful thing. I gotta say, rest in peace, Jamaica, man, because Jamaica's fucked, dude. This is how postmodern I am. I live like an hour from Jamaica, and I didn't even know there was a hurricane going on, okay? Look at this. This is crazy. There's a hurricane going on. Stephen Hawking is in the hurricane?
This is not optimal. Requesting assistance immediately. I am not waterproof. Please help before I shut down. This was not in my calco. Static.
What? What else is going on? Here we have Gustavo Petro, the president of Colombia, celebrates the arrival of Hurricane Melissa, claiming it protects the Caribbean. Melissa is poised to become one of the most devastating hurricanes to hit the region. It's a Cat 6. Huracanes que defienden el Caribe. Hurricanes that defend the Caribbean. That's some real postmodernism, dude. One man's hurricane is another man's anti-American brigade to stop the invasion of Venezuela. That's where we're at. Mr. Petro, this man's a wizard. He's a wizard. He may be a coke-addicted wizard, but he's a wizard. He's a wizard. Jamaica's cooked, says Mr. Elu. I think it's cooked, man. It's pretty bad. And I love Montego Bay. Poor Jamaicans, man. Pour one out for them. Look at how bad this is, dude. This is bad. I don't wish this on anyone. On anyone. All right. Fuad says, hey, Leo, if I am postmodern, I promise you I didn't even realize it. Everyone's postmodern, my friend. You will not realize it until you have the theory. But everyone is. Mr. Elu says, Stephen Hawking cheated on his wife and was on the Epstein list. I wonder what he was doing down there on that island. It says, meanwhile, Argentina just made a comeback. Now you know, Leo, if you're trouble, just do a concert. Dude, I should have bet on Polymarket that his party was going to win. I really didn't think so, but why would I bet against Scott Bessent and Elon Musk? All right. We're going to finish this tomorrow, dude, but we have to start watching the greatest. You think that you need to go to Jubilee to be surrounded? Not Piers Morgan. Not our hero, Piers Morgan. The maestro, the greatest to ever do it. He brought them to him. The title, You People Are Insane, is woke dead. 6 liberals versus Piers Morgan.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
He doesn't even need to go on fucking Jubilee, dude. He does it himself. He can't keep getting away with it. He can't.
You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it!
So let's watch. Let's watch the master at work. Oh, I can only bow down. Let's see him.
Well, as I may have mentioned once or twice, Woke is Dead. I've written a whole new book. So I've invited some of the finest.
You better buy Woke is Dead, dude. You better read this shit. This is gonna be a good book.
Woke warriors in the world. Tell me why I'm wrong.
You are
Why?
sat there in this entire book moaning about how straight men are being bullied and marginalized by left-wing idiots like me, and actually that makes you incredibly woke.
You just cherry pick whatever you don't like. So when you don't like something and it hurts you, then that's when you go against council culture, Piers.
You are woke, Piers.
You like it. You like it when it's served.
The idea that vegans eat avocados every day is
He brought in a guy in a keffiyeh to talk about veganism. It makes me emotional, man. I never thought that Can you appreciate the time we're alive, man? What a beautiful time. What a beautiful time. You could have seen Apollo 11, but you're here for Piers Morgan.
Silly, it's a bit presumptuous to celebrate that all of the parasitic ideas that constitute wokeism are now eviscerated.
This is more an aspirational title.
When you go promote this book over on Fox
ma'am.
and Friends, when you booty clap them cheeks,
Which I will be,
you
by
sell
the
that
way,
book
in
on
about
Fox
a week.
and Friends, I see you're still acting stupid, Piers.
So what is your point?
But go and buy Woke is Dead, you might learn something.
I think we should get a free copy considering.
I think we
without
should
us,
too.
the book would-
A free copy.
See, I'm a big fan of both of y'all, by the way.
Well, I'm a big fan of you.
I love you.
Love you.
All right, can we stop this annoying
You
Love
podcast,
need to
you.
please?
Take
Love
up
you.
space,
Take
baby
it
girl.
up. Come
Take
on,
it.
baby.
I think that we're going to leave it there, but we're going to do something else, all right? We're going to look at Gad Saad talk about postmodernism because he was a guest here. We're going to look at this tomorrow because it's so good. But Gad Saad has a great video here where he debunks postmodernism in 4 minutes. Dude, this is the dumbest video you've ever seen. It's so good as a Baudrillardian, bro. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. Okay? Let's catch up with the chats here. Fuhat says, I want to know if during a negative reason, but because I want to talk to you. What do you mean, sir? Mr. Elu says, the leader of Trinidad and Tobago is named Kamala. I did not know that. Miss Ephra says, the same technology causing global warming is the same technology generating Hawking's AI slop. Absolutely. Data centers. Data centers. I know it says, Piers doesn't cherry pick. He picks his own truth. Mr. Elu says, picking your own truth is the definition of postmodernism. Exactly. So, I'm sorry to blue ball you there. Because I want to watch the whole thing. And it's almost midnight. So we got to watch this instead. This is going to be great. This is going to help Full Hat understand what postmodernism is, what everyone wants to know. This is a great clip.
Let's just jump straight into it. So what would be an example of, as you say, a parasitic idea?
Sure. So the granddaddy of them all would probably be postmodernism, because
the granddaddy. We are the granddaddies. Call me Granddaddy Leo. All right, call me Granddaddy King Leo.
In a sense, it is the perfect virus of intellectual terrorism or nihilism, because it basically posits that there are no objective truths. Everything is constrained by subjectivity, by the personal biases of whomever is doing the exploration. Now, the problem is that scientists do wake up every day thinking that there are universal truths to be discovered. Now, something that is true 300 years ago scientifically might be updated and no longer be true. So we
updated. I'm suspicious. What does updated mean? What does updated mean? Does that mean that iOS 14 was not true? I think it might.
So in science, we talk about provisional truths. So when we say truth, we don't mean that it is revealed truth, as would be the case in science, in religion. But we do wake up every day thinking, well, there is a universal human nature that we might want to study as evolutionary psychologists. Well, postmodernism completely shatters that idea. And so I compare postmodernists to the 9/11 guys. So the 9/11 folks, because they were zealots of their ideology, flew planes onto buildings. Well, postmodernists fly planes of bullshit onto our edifices of reason and slowly destroy everything that has made, the scientific method and other such epistemological approaches completely irrelevant, because hey, it's all subjective. I'll give you maybe a quick story. Some of your viewers might not be
Let's hear the story. It's a great story.
Familiar with it. Others may, but it's still worth hearing if they know it. In 2002, one of my doctoral students had just defended his dissertation, and we had gone out for a celebratory dinner, myself, my wife, him, and his date for the evening, somebody that he was dating. And he had warned me ahead of time that that particular individual, the date in question, was a graduate student in cultural anthropology, postmodernism, and feminism. So sort of a holy trinity of bullshit.
The dark triad.
The dark triad. And so he was sort of telling me, hey, let's not get too heavy. Let's have fun. I said, oh, you got it. Mum's the word. I'm going to be on my best behavior, which of course was nonsense. I wasn't going to be on my best behavior. And so about halfway through the dinner, I very gingerly, very politely said, oh, I hear that you are a postmodernist. Do you mind if, so there are no universal truths, correct? Yes, none. Okay, well, do you mind if I propose what I think are universal truths, and then you can tell me how you would think otherwise? She goes, yes, absolutely.
Watch the nihilist try to hang on to truth.
Go for it. Okay, well, within Homo sapiens, only women bear children. Is that not a human universal? Is that...
To quote Matt Walsh, what is a woman? What does that mean, Gad Sad, that only women can have children? Gad Sad. I'm confused. Explain to me what a woman is. Because to me, it sounds like a social construct as a postmodernist.
Not true. Can we not take that to the bank? Absolutely not. What a stupid thing to say. Oh, really? How's that? Well, there is a Japanese tribe off some island where within their mythological narrative, within their folklore, it is the men who bear children. So by you restricting it to the biological realm, that's how you keep us barefoot and pregnant. Once I recovered from my...
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And this is why I don't have a problem with the transgender movement. Being a man, being categorized as a man, is why you were able to be drafted and sent into wars. It is why social pressures make you pick up a gun and kill people you don't know in a battle. Because you are forced into this made-up identity. It's so fake. It's so fake, dude. Liberation comes through this. It only comes through deconstruction.
Mini stroke. I then said to her, okay, how about we take a less contentious example, one that's not as laden with, animus as saying that only women bear children. She goes, go for it. Well, is it true that from the vantage point of anywhere on Earth, sailors have relied since time immemorial that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west?
That's not true. Have you been to the Arctic? The sun's out all day. The Antarctic, same thing. What is west and east? What does that even mean? What are we talking about? It doesn't make sense to me. These are man-made concepts, Gad Sad.
To which she used what's called deconstructionism. She said, well, what do you mean by east and west? Those are just labels. And what do you mean by sun? That which you call the sun, I call dancing hyena. To which I answered, well, the dancing hyena rises in the east and sets in the west. And then she said, well, I don't play these label games. So the reason why I always repeat this story, because she wasn't an anomaly. She wasn't an outlier. She was just aping what, 30, 40 years of this kind of bullshit training has caused people to do, which is reject that there is something called the sun, reject that women bear children, and so on. So it's not a good epistemological trajectory to take. So that would be the top idea pathogen if you have time and you want to discuss others on behalf.
The greatest tool of liberation. And just let's go back to Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson so we can get an example of the postmodern, because I forgot to show you guys the ending of this interview where they're talking about, here we go, let's see this, when they sign off. What comes right after? Can you guess what Tucker Carlson promoted right after this interview?
Fed to this kind of fire. So if I were Trump, I would say screw 200 National Guard, like arrest the mayor of Chicago, like arrest the governor, shut it down, like make it clear, like Washington, bring in the troops and say the federal government is supreme. The immigration law is the law of the land. If you're not on board with that, you're going to jail. If you attack ICE or box them in with your car, you're going to jail for a long time. Anything less than that, you might as well just not even bark up that tree at all.
Nick Fuentes, thank you very much.
The whole time he has spent trying to talk him off the hill, off the ledge of racism, of schizophrenia. What does he promote immediately afterwards?
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
Likewise.
We've got a new website we hope you will visit. It's called newcommissionnow.com, and it refers to a new 9/11 commission. So we spent months putting together our 9/11 documentary series. And if there's one thing we learned, it's that in fact, there was foreknowledge of the attacks. People knew.
The American public deserves to know.
We're shocked, actually, to learn that, to have that confirmed, but it's true. The evidence is overwhelming. The CIA, for example, knew the hijackers were here in the United States. They knew they were planning an act of terror.
In his passport is a visa to go to the United States of America.
Thank you, Tucker, for trying to talk Nick off the ledge and then immediately going into your schizo theory of 9/11. Thank you, Tucker. Thank you.
It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, at least it's entertaining. I'm not watching. I'm not making myself crazy. I'm not going to watch that. Let's catch up with the chats. Evan says, so 5G does give you cancer? Let me wear my tinfoil hat, old man. Fuentes says, dude, by example, your postmodernism has changed everything. Absolutely. Postmodernism changed the whole world. The whole world. System ring must be an antenna for 5G technology along with blue hair poisoning. I didn't know about that. So he purposely went there to debate, to state his truth. Exactly. Gad Saad does not even understand what he's entering, what ring he's entering. Shouldn't he say females and not women, says Mr. Elu? The old riddle about what color a bear would be if every direction is south. Absolutely, man. This is not new. People have known this throughout history. You read Don Quixote, it's a super postmodern text, man. And that's 400, 500 years ago. His date is just rage baiting him, says I had everything. I agree. That's the best thing to do with postmodern, just rage bait people. Oh, you believe that you are wearing a yellow shirt. Well, now tell me how I know that your yellow and my yellow are the same. Thank you. Ephra says, postmodern is not new. The ancient people, Vedic teachings, knew about what delusion and the suffering it causes towards self and others. Most suffering is caused by delusion. I don't know about that, Miss Ephra. I'm going to look into that. But we are in the Kali Yuga. So we are in an era of suffering. And Ivan says, well, that escalated quickly. Yeah, we go into the 9/11 stuff immediately. Ephra says, the left was delusional, the right is delusional, so it's suffering for all because of this. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And what I don't know if you're saying that it's bad, man, but when you take a big step back and you go, hang on, none of this is true. I can pick my own reality. That's when you're free. That's when you are free to do anything. It's only after we lose everything that we're free to do anything. Tyler Durden. Great movie. All right, everybody. We are doing the Saddam Hussein bill giveaway. The first victim of postmodernism. Okay? The first postmodern victim in war. We are doing that. If you were in the chat today, through Thursday, you are in the running. We will see who actually ends up winning it. All right, so just be sure to comment if you're here. Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing takes half a second, and it's free, and it helps the show stay on the road. We're already at 1,000 subscribers, thankfully. We did it. Let's get some air horns. We got to 1,000 subscribers. Not an easy achievement. And we can go for more. It takes a few seconds to do it. And if you chat, you're pretty close, man. You're pretty close. We'll know by the end of the week who wins this. I'm going to frame it for you. I'm going to put something in there for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Item says yellow cake. Absolutely. I do not, Mr. Elo. I love Fight Club. That was the one that I didn't agree with. I agreed with Lord of the Rings. I don't like Lord of the Rings. And which other one did he say? Saving Private Ryan I didn't like. But the Fight Club is the best, dude. Fight Club is so good. I love Fight Club. It's so good. It's so good. Fight Club and American Psycho are good movies. I won't go that far. But with that, everybody, check out the new video, The Clintons, A Love Story. Drop a like and a comment. I think that you'll learn a lot about who you should try. I'm not trying to whatever podcast you. I'm trying to help you find someone who you can build a life with. I'm trying to give you real advice, okay? So, drop a like, share the video, share the channel. Let's get this big. Rules are suspended, okay? And always remember the Badralardian greeting. We live in a twilight world. And the response? We live in a twilight world, and there are no friends at dusk. We ripped that off from Tenet. All right, everybody. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow where I blue-balled you, but we are going to look at the Piers-Morgan debate. It's going to be great. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope everyone has a great night. Appreciate you.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Change the world. My final message.